Hey guys, my name is Bagel Dolphin or Ramen Nation and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be playing some more Build Battle Pro Mode and with another challenge. But before we get into that, there's a special announcement or event happening on Wednesday. We've just started a new guild led by the number 9 builder, OK Brett. And of course at the moment it's still relatively small. However, in a search for members, I'm going to be opening it to you guys. There will be an event on Wednesday, June 17th where we'll be having a pro party and anyone is welcome to join. But the important part is that if you're talented, ranked and above, guildless, and want to join, feel free to join the party, and you might be invited to the guild after the party. If you're lower than talented rank though, don't fret, as skilled rank is still welcome as long as you meet the deadline to getting to talented after joining. I'll give more information to this as it comes, but as I said, June 17th or the coming Wednesday. 2 days, 3 PM EST. Information will be in the description as well, and I'll see you there. And as for the challenge, we're going to be doing the legendary only challenge, where I'm only allowed to vote legendary on everyone's build. So let's hop straight into the game. Alright, so what do we got here? We have Island, Bakery, Neon, Gym, and Fantasy. You know what? I'm really feeling a fantasy build. This could be pretty cool, and I could maybe build an organic or something like that. I don't know. Okay. So let's go for some sort of fairy kind of build. This could be pretty cool. So whether you're building a person or a fairy or some sort of animal, what you really want to do when you're building an organic is start off with a shape. And so this is like pretty much the shape of my build. And well, obviously these are the legs, but this is the shape of my build. And the reason I'm starting with a shape is so that I have an idea of what the build is going to look like before I actually get into the build. This way I can like just spam out my blocks really quickly and still get everything relatively accurately. Shaping, in my opinion, is one of the most important aspects to any build, whether or not it's an organic. And well, there you go. This is how you pretty much wireframe build, bagel style. You guys might do it differently, but shaping a build is really important. So yeah. In my opinion, human organics are always the hardest ones because you always have to focus on making everything so accurate, or else like every little bit of an error really just alienates the build so much. So as I said, shaping is really important because well, once you get the right shape of something, you can do whatever you want to it and it can still look right. But if you don't get the right shape, even changing the colors to a human color won't make it look as human as something that's actually a human. So this fairy's gonna have a nice little dress. I'm gonna just spam some wool, glass, magenta terracotta, yeah. And just give it a nice little flowy dress that's pretty quick to build. Alright, so now that the dress is complete, maybe we can just add a bit more to the back. Just give it that little color, just adding a little bit more to the build. Right, so this sort of looks like a fairy right now. I feel like this front part is a bit too straight up, and actually it helped fix it a lot, wow. Okay, so turns out those few blocks were the problem, and maybe these ones as well. I'm gonna get rid of them. Yeah, that helped a lot. So yeah, this is our fairy's shape and body pretty much complete. So obviously she's gonna have a little bit of a waist. Alright. Now I think what I'm gonna move on to are the arms, because the arms are pretty important as well. I think this fairy's gonna have like a short skirt kind of arm sleeve thing. I'm not very good with clothing, so I have no clue what this is called. But she's gonna have her arms coming out of short, sort of like rolled up sleeves. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be where her arms are like. I'm gonna do the other arm and just spam this one out. Alright. She might hold some sort of a wand or something, I don't know. But now her head is gonna look over here. So be sure to give your organics a neck. A neck is very important because it gives it some sort of stability. And while I'm not the best at organics, I can tell you that necks really do help your organic because they make them look a lot more realistic. So here's sort of a round head shape that sort of fits the size of this organic. It's not a massive organic, so maybe one block taller might help. Alright, now gonna give her some beautiful blonde hair. You could use birch or terracotta for this. I just prefer terracotta or clay because, well, that's just a block that I really like to use. Birch does give it a lot more texture though, and if I were doing something that would need slabs and were a lot more intricate, I would use birch. Okay, now that her hair is done, I'm going to give her one eye, although an organic of this size doesn't really need eyes at all because they're really small organics and adding eyes might actually just ruin the organic a little bit. However, I think people in this lobby might oh, there's actually like nobody in this lobby, wow. Alright, but people in Build Battle really like it when people have eyes because obviously it makes it seem a bit more realistic and it's added quote-unquote effort, but in my opinion, eyes ruin the build a little bit, so I'm just adding it so that I get better score pretty much. So right now, of course, I'm adding the 2 wings. I already added one of them on the other side, but pretty much the wings just have to have a nice little shape as well, just curving around, giving it a little bit of a butterfly look. It's fine if your builds are looking a little bit spammy, as long as you get the right general shape, it's pretty much good enough for a build battle win, per se. If you're going for a much bigger organic, of course, it's going to be beneficial if you do it using World Edit, because obviously things are able to be better shaped because you have //BR blend ball, if you know what that is. But yeah, World Edit is a good tool, and if you have it, definitely use it. But yeah, so pretty much here's my organic complete. I'm going to give her a little bit of a wand. I might also buff up her arms a little bit because these things are looking like noodles. Ramen noodles. Yeah. It's not fun having skinny arms like this. Okay. I might have a second to give her buffer arms. Okay. Just going to quickly spam some blocks here. And okay, that didn't really happen, but alright, it's good enough. You know what? It's fine. So I have to vote legendary, but this is a very sad build, so I guess I'll point out what's wrong with this. Pretty obviously, you have this very blocky thing, and there's no shape in the center. So if you want to do a unicorn like this, I would probably start with fixing up the shape of everything and making things less blocky, including the face and the entire body, and giving it a tail. But okay, I can give the same example with this one. It's very blocky and has absolutely no shape to it. But of course, give it a little bit more shape, round it out a little bit. Is this a cow or a unicorn? Alright, but yeah. And also give it a snout because horses have snouts. And actually, I sort of like these mushrooms. It's pretty cool. But yeah. There's a lot you can add to builds like this to make them a lot better. And then after you have the shape of the build, definitely give it a pose, because if you give something a pose, it turns something that is completely stagnant and stable to something fully dynamic, and a dynamic build is always really cool. So we have a windmill over here. That's actually okay, honestly. Use Pro Tools. That's the only tip I can give this one. And also make it bigger and more detailed and stuff. So for this one, my idea is, I think, okay, so their idea was to have a heart under a rainbow flag. And of course, I think this could probably go better if it weren't pixel art and everything. And over here you have my build. Hopefully people like it. It's not really that beefy, but it's a pretty interesting build in my opinion. I like the dress idea of having the curved spiral things everywhere. Her legs are a little bit on the skinny end, and so are her arms, so if I had more time I would definitely improve those, especially the legs. Oh, we got legendary. That's pretty nice of them. And over here you have a pretty cool little dragon. Okay, so for dragons, they got the wing arc shape correct, but I feel like the wing should also bend forward a little bit, because that means, or backwards, depends on which position in the flying the dragon is. But yeah, and for the head, ender chests are a smart eye, but definitely give it more of an arc in front of the eye so that the eye has like an eye socket. Hey, GG, we want. Okay, my frames are dying. I have no clue why my frames are dying this hard, but GG. But yeah, as I was saying, for a dragon, give it more of an arc in the eye and a better swirl. I'm not sure. Now we're just gonna move into the next game and see what happens. Toy Factory, Roman, Bakery, Castle, and Garden. I'm feeling a castle build because people have been longing for a castle tutorial, and while this isn't my design, this is OK Brett or Bretto's design, or well, we got Garden, but yeah, he has a pretty cool design that I stole, and I'm not proud, but you know what? It's a really good design, and I couldn't help myself. Alright, so we're gonna move into a garden build, and well, I guess this is pretty traditional. We terraform, and then we hopefully win. Probably not though. So here's what I'm gonna do for garden. Okay, and there is the terraforming for the garden complete. Of course, I still have to copy it across, but I'm gonna do that last, and you'll see why in a second. But pretty much my idea for this garden was to build some sort of a Greek garden, just layering across the entire build. And yeah, I feel like I'm gonna stick with that idea. It seems like a pretty cool idea. So obviously, I'm not Greek. Actually, that's not the obvious part, but obviously Greek architecture has a lot of arcs in it. And to build these arcs, I'm just gonna use big pillars and have arcs in between them. So here's the shape of one of the pillars, of course. I'm gonna come across, and maybe it's gonna be like a half in the water pillar over here. Like, oh, and I'm stuck. Help me. Alright. Yeah, Hypixel bugs out sometimes. But theoretically, if this comes over here, all the way across, this should just line up to this perfectly, yep. And I can build the rest of this pillar up from there. Honestly, I think 2 pillars should be technically enough, because what we're focusing on is the arcs, of course, and, well, the pillar isn't really the arc. So, while I'm not very certain how the Greek architecture works, I think they just have, like, well, obviously an arc. Is that it? I'm not sure if that's it. Well, it seems legit. I'm sure we can just cover it up with leaves and it'll look just fine, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but you know, that's cool. Played around with the arcs a little bit, and I think that's good enough. And anyway, actually, I might just do this instead. Yeah, I'm gonna make like multiple arcs, or multiple levels to the arc. It's sort of like the aqueduct. I don't know how I pronounce the word, but it's just like that old thing in, I think it's Segovia or something in Spain, but pretty much they just have nice little big thing. I'm gonna flash an image on screen right now because I have no clue how to describe it, but there's like multiple stories of arcs over there, and it's pretty cool. Always loved Spanish architecture and Greek architecture, just European architecture in general, alright? But yeah, those things are pretty cool. So, of course, we're going to need some trees and rose bushes if it's going to be our garden. But most importantly, I'm going to get some terracotta art out, because terracotta is, like, as I said, one of the best blocks ever. My Minecraft's not on fancy. Alright, that's fine. The trees are just, like, opaque right now, but it's okay because that means my FPS is also going to be a bit higher. Not really that much higher, though. Alright, so these leaves are going to wrap around the top over here, and just, well, we call our guild Leaf Nation for a reason, which is obviously the best guild ever and you should join, but, there's pretty much just leaf spam across the entire top of here, and there's really not that much to it, because leaf spam is just something of an art that, well, I'm not sure who started this, but leaf spam is useful, and we should do it a lot. And if you want to learn to spam leaves better, or just spam things in general better, you should subscribe to my channel and watch all my videos, and also join Leaf Nation, because there's a lot of helpful and really nice people in that guild that you should join, and obviously give us guild experience, because that's what we're after. But yeah, no, for real though, we have a pretty cool community, and we'd be excited to meet you, so definitely show up if you can on the pro party thing on Wednesday at 3 p.m. EST, or Eastern Standard Time. I think that's good enough. I don't have any trees, but actually, I might add one tree. Alright, I'll add one tree, just for you guys. This tree is going to be a very short tree, because I have like no space for it. And also no time for it. Okay, this is like the worst tree I've ever built. Alright, copy this. And paste it right over here. Alright, so we're just gonna do this once again. Paste. Ooh, Sien Slad has invited me to their party. That's actually a beautiful name. But, oh god, okay, I missed this a little bit. Have to fix this crack thing. And yeah, that's down here as well. Since this build looks sort of meh right now, I'm just gonna add some sea lanterns everywhere and turn it nighttime, because nighttime always helps you hide things that you don't want people to see. So we're gonna turn it to nighttime, and I think this is complete. Nice. Ooh, I actually sort of like this one, but I have to legendary it either way, so there is a waterfall, a bridge, and a couple of floating islands. It's a pretty cool build, but I'm gonna have to legendary it either whether or not it's legendary, so this one's actually worth one. Good job. Although I'm not so sure about the background. Guys, Happy World is probably one of the backgrounds I've never used, so why do I have to legendary this? Okay, I'm gonna legendary it and hold out a super poop, because this is what I want to give it, this is what I did give it, so alright, well, okay, so they had flowers, and that's like the only aspect that's a why do they have oof written on the ground? Alright. Okay, so this one is literally just a grass terrain. Why do I have to legendary this? I have a theory. I think this kid, whoever built this, their mom called them to eat dinner after they built it. And they had a really good thing going, but like... Okay, so here's another thing. Don't use vanilla trees. Why do you have a vanilla tree over here? Okay, so you can use vanilla trees, sure, but like, use them because you don't have time to do anything more. Don't use vanilla trees because because for the purpose of having a tree. Because while they're okay trees, they don't look good. I mean, look, this guy built a tree over here. It's around the same size as a vanilla tree. The leaves are even more spammy than a vanilla tree, so it's debatably worse leaves, but it still looks better because it's not a vanilla tree. Vanilla trees don't look that great, and the reason for that is because the tree lacks in both shape and size, and it also lacks in variety. You don't see any other colors other than the logs, and it's absolutely horrible. And this one isn't really even a actually, I guess, are these like broccoli sticks? I'm not really certain. That's pretty cool. Okay, so this one's actually not that bad of a build. I'm gonna give this one a legendary because you have flowers everywhere and there's a building in the front. This looks like a build that sort of deserves a pretty good vote. It's not that bad. Good job. I mean, it's not that fancy, but like, it does deserve a good vote because it was not that bad of a build. And here's my build. They're saying holy, that's a bad word I can't say unless I get demonetized, but then again, I don't really have a monetization, so they say how though? It's because of oh, we got 2 legendaries in one video. GG! Alright, not gonna complain. They say how though? I say Pro Tools, check out my channel. Okay, you're the best, I understand. I'm not the best. Brett O is the best. No, actually, he's not the best either. I'm sorry, Brett. But like, there's some other builders who might surpass you too. I'm not gonna name them though because T is fun, but like not always that fun. But yeah. Oh, and this actually reminds me. Somebody commented on my video to make a mountain tutorial. So sorry that I didn't get to a mountain in this video, but I'll definitely make another tutorial video sometime, and I'll include a mountain tutorial in the video. Right, so this is a pretty cool build, but don't make boxes. Like, I'm pretty sure Korean went over that in one of his videos, like way back when. Yeah, don't make box building things. Yeah, it's not that great. But alright, and here, this looks like, honestly, I wouldn't complain if the Minecraft vanilla villages looked like this, because this looks so much better than one of the Minecraft vanilla villages. And they built this in 10 minutes, so yeah, what can I say? Villages really do need some help. Even the 1.14 villages, like, I was hoping they would have some really big upgrade, but yeah, GG, we won. 2 legendaries in one video. We voted legendary on everybody. I have video proof. I didn't skip any voting this time, but I do think I cut down the building process a bit shorter. I don't know. Haven't edited yet, so future me might have done that. But yeah. So thanks so much for watching, guys. This video was pretty fun to make, just voting legendary on everyone and building normally, having a chill time. It was pretty cool. So as I was saying, don't forget to join me on Wednesday for this epic pro party thing, and you're also going to be able to apply for a cool guild that will hopefully be a pretty big one someday. So yeah, don't forget to join us then. The requirements for the guild, as I said, are talented or, well, talented or above, or you can be skilled rank and be really good at the game and apply and maybe make it, I don't know. But like if you're skilled or below skilled and you somehow make the guild, there's going to be a deadline for you to get to talented before that deadline so that you can obviously stay in the guild. But you know, that's the basic information for that. Wednesday, 3 p.m. EST. I have no clue what that is in other time zones, so don't ask me. I'm going to mess up and embarrass myself, so I'm just going to flash up some other times for the time zone in the description because I'm going to be too lazy to edit that into the video. Alright, yeah, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!